Some connections don't end when people break up. They don't disappear when new relationships start. They don't even fade when years pass. They just change form. And that's why so many people keep coming back to the same uncomfortable question when it comes to Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Not because anyone is pushing a reunion narrative, not because anyone thinks they're secretly together, but because somehow they keep speaking the same emotional language at the same time, even after everything. And lately, that pattern has been getting harder to ignore. It started with something that looked innocent on the surface. Selena Gomez sat down for an interview and was asked about music. Not chart performance, not singles. Just music she turns to when she needs to feel something. She didn't hesitate. She said the song she listens to when she really needs a good cry is A Glimpse of Us. If you know that song, you already understand why people froze. It isn't a casual sad song. It isn't vague and it isn't open-ended. It's about being with someone new while secretly wishing it was someone from the past. About loving someone who treats you well, but realizing they're not the one your heart keeps reaching for. That alone wouldn't mean much. People connect to music for all kinds of reasons. But the timing was strange, yet because just days earlier, Justin Bieber had gone live. Nothing dramatic, no announcement, no big statement. But during the live, people noticed something. In between talking, Justin softly hummed and sang fragments of lines that sounded like questions. Questions about leaving, about staying, about trust, about whether it was already too late. And then there was one moment that made people rewind. A sound that, to many ears, sounded like he whispered Selena's name. Some fans swear they hear it clearly. Others say it's just a noise. Others say he was tired and half asleep. No one can prove anything. But once people noticed it, the clip spread everywhere. So now you had Selena publicly saying she cries to a song about missing someone you can't have. And Justin publicly singing about regret, trust, and being stuck. Within the same window of time. Coincidence? Maybe. But that's where things start to feel uncomfortable. Because it wasn't just about lyrics, that both of them separately have been saying nearly the same thing about love. Selena, in an older interview, said she would rather keep her heart open and risk getting hurt than close herself off and never feel love again. Justin, in a separate conversation, said almost the exact same thing. Different wording, same meaning. That they'd rather feel pain than feel nothing. That they'd rather love deeply and suffer than live guarded. When two people who haven't been together in years keep expressing the same emotional philosophy, people notice. Not because it means they're communicating, but because it suggests they're still shaped by the same emotional blueprint. And this isn't new. This pattern has been repeating for years. When Justin released Too Much, fans immediately picked apart the lyrics. Soft, romantic, longing, not angry, not bitter, not detached. Which confused people because if someone truly moved on, you'd expect emotional distance, coldness, indifference. But his music during and after his marriage never sounded like that. Around the same time in the past, Selena released Lose You to Love Me, a song about losing herself in a relationship, about giving everything, about finally choosing herself. Two artists, two separate projects, same emotional chapter, different sides of the same story. Even years later, that mirroring keeps happening, and that's what messes with people. Because marriages happened, new partners entered the picture, life moved forward, but the emotional tone never fully shifted. And marriage especially tends to change emotional language. When someone is deeply settled and resolved, their art usually reflects stability. But Justin's music continued leaning reflective, melancholic, introspective, not celebratory, not triumphant. And Selena's interviews continued circling themes of healing, learning, and redefining love. Not closure, growth. There's a difference. Closure sounds like, that chapter is done. Growth sounds like, that chapter shaped me. And that distinction matters. Then there are the micro moments people obsess over. During one live stream, Justin barely reacted when Haley entered the room. No big greeting, no shift in posture. But when a friend walked in shortly after, Justin immediately stood up, smiled, and lit up. Some people say it means nothing. Others say body language doesn't lie. Neither side can prove anything. But perception becomes powerful when a narrative already exists. Another moment showed Justin stepping out of a car ahead of Haley at an event. Some fans said he was avoiding paparazzi. Others said it looked distant. Same clip. Two interpretations. What matters isn't which one is correct. What matters is how often moments like this keep getting reinterpreted through the same lens. Because the story never fully died. And then Selena shifted the tone. Recently, she dropped a song with a completely different energy. Not heartbreak, not reflection, flirty, playful, confident. The kind of song that feels like an invitation instead of a diary entry. Lyrics about chemistry being easy, about attraction being natural, about not overthinking what feels right. After months of introspective energy, that shift stood out. Some fans took it as Selena saying she's open again. Others said it's just a fun song. But stacked on top of everything else, it reignited the conversation. Because the timeline looks like this. Selena publicly connects to a song about missing someone. Justin publicly sings about regret and trust. Both express identical views on love and vulnerability. Selena then releases a song about how easy it is to fall in love, even if none of it is intentional. The alignment feels cinematic, and that's why people struggle to let this story go. Not because they think Justin and Selena are secretly plotting a reunion, but because it feels like two people who never fully emotionally detached. Like two people who moved on with their lives. But not from the imprint. Some people come into your life and change your emotional vocabulary forever. They shape how you love, how you fight, how you heal, how you write, how you create. Like, you don't have to want them back. You don't have to talk to them. You don't even have to like them anymore. But the imprint stays. And that's what this feels like to a lot of people. Not a love story, not a reunion arc, not destiny, but unfinished emotional business. The kind that doesn't explode, the kind that just echoes. So maybe Justin and Selena will never get back together. Maybe they shouldn't. Maybe they don't even want to. But the fact that they keep landing on the same emotional wavelength years later is what keeps pulling people back in. Because some stories don't end with a goodbye, they end with silence. And silence leaves room for interpretation. Which is why this conversation never really dies, and probably never will.